Everyone, welcome to the March Masterclass. If you are new to me, I'm Monica, the Purple Box Organizer. I am a home coach, a professional organizer, and a certified life coach. I help you create personal and household goals to declutter your home, schedule, and mind. Working together, we will create customized home systems so that your household can function more efficiently and you can spend more time doing what you enjoy doing. I specialize in helping you define routines, design systems, and simplify your thoughts to move forward with less judgment and more momentum. I'm very passionate about home systems, and my techniques can help your home become clean and organized, and then I help you keep it that way on a daily basis. I can teach you to implement good habits with manageable action steps, which help these habits last. I'm a wife to my wonderful husband, Ian. I'm a mom to 3 cute kids, Brighton, who is 11, Jaden, who is 7, and Braylon is almost 3. I also teach dance at a local dance studio in our city. I like spending time with my family. I like Oreos, and yes, my favorite color is purple. All right, so this masterclass is entitled Why It Takes So Much Time to Tidy. And this is a compilation of thoughts that I've had as I'm tidying my own home, as I've been in homes previously when I used to go in homes and trying to help moms, busy moms, figure out how to make sense of everything that's in our home, okay? I'm gonna give a lot of possible scenarios and examples today. And what I want you to do is picture yourself in your home, okay? Do any of these sound like you? Or a part of you, or even more if I went further, okay? This is gonna help you to see exactly where you're at, okay? And then you know where you need to start. We are constantly walking past items that are out of place when our home is not tidy. And when we walk through our home, we're constantly seeing them and taking note of them, okay? When they're out of place, your brain tries to process those items and decide what to do with them, or talk you into doing something with them, or you're judging yourself that you haven't done something with them, right? See how we're kind of spinning there. Sometimes you get fed up with it and you try to tackle it, but maybe you don't finish. So then it's still not tidy. Maybe it's even worse because you thought, well, I'll make a big mess and it'll get worse before it'll get better. And then it is even worse than when you first started that project or that task. Okay, you might have kids, you might have really little kids that are great at creating messes and not great at cleaning them up. Okay, even if they're not that little and they're not great at cleaning them up, that happens for sure. Okay, you are busy attending to life and maybe it seems overwhelming to do anything extra like tidying, right? You're just trying to stay afloat with regular everyday life things, and it's hard to want to do that sometimes, knowing when that space is going to look the same tomorrow. If you clean it all up now, it might end up looking the same tomorrow too. So that can be frustrating and stop you from wanting to tidy that particular space. Maybe you're prioritizing family time and self-care, and it seems like there's no time to tidy, but that still bothers you. Now, this is not me saying that family time and self-care are not important, because they absolutely are. And I'm not saying that they're less important than tidying. That's not what I'm saying at all. But most of us still want things tidy. Even though we have a lot of things going on, we prefer that things are tidy. We're just feeling at a loss of how to fit it in, how to think about it, how not to judge ourselves, so on and so forth. Okay. What if you want to tidy up, but you're not sure where to start first? Like, what room? If I do start in this room, what space? Do I start on the surfaces? Do I start on the floor? Okay. It's also quite possible that you don't have a set place for a lot of these items that are out of place, and maybe that's why you haven't put them away. These items can't be put away because I don't have a place for them, so they just remain out, okay? Or you do have a place for them, but no one follows the system of putting those into the place that you've created, okay? Maybe you did create the place, but nobody knows about that place. Well, I made this space, but you didn't communicate that to the rest of the family, so they're not aware. Or you didn't keep up with trying to remind them gently and lovingly that this is the place where our shoes go, this is where the jackets go, this is where you hang your bag or your backpack, please put it there, okay? And maybe that place is there, but it's not as functional as it could be, so you've kind of given up on it, or everyone else has given up on it. I've been in homes before where there's a place created for specific things, but it's nowhere near the space that's needed for those items or that particular item. And so that means it's not functional, it's not working, okay? You may have a lot of these items with no home or any of these other scenarios. So they sit out and they only look back at you and cluttered, and just seems to like they mock you as you go by, right? It's very common for homeless items to get shuffled around a lot as well. Or it seems like they're multiplying. How in the world do we have more of these items? I just can't grasp it, okay? Maybe you've had some of these thoughts before. So think about if any of these have been in your brain before you've said any of these things. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to start with. This is too hard. Oh, this is so boring. This will take forever. How did things even get like this? I should be a better housekeeper. I'm just not good at this. I'm the only one that ever cleans. Everyone else leaves all their stuff everywhere. Okay, so there's some examples for you. And I want to challenge these for a minute with a few questions that you could ask yourself. Because in those moments where you're frustrated or things just aren't seeming to work, or you're not having enough time, or you're not planning well enough to allow these tidying things to happen, or the things that you do want to happen, I want you to ask yourself some questions, okay? The first one is that really true? Or does it just feel true to you? Okay, and if you ask any of these questions, why is that a problem? Is that the worst? Why is that a problem? That's such a good question to ask. It can be a little jolting sometimes at first, but it's a good, curious question to ask. How about this one? Do you want that to stop you from actually getting what you want, or how you want the space to be or to look? Did your home get like this, whatever state it's in? Did your home get like this overnight? And I'm guessing no. So what is the rush? Right? Our homes can kind of get out of order and it feels like out of control sometimes. And we want this quick fix. That can be for a lot of things. It could be for weight. It could be for health issues, be a lot of things where it just kind of has grown and feels like out of control, but that did not happen overnight. Okay. So what is the rush in trying to get it better to the way that you want it to be? Okay. Could you figure it out? And if you could, how could you figure it out? Is it something you could Google? Is it something you could tackle with a friend? Invite a friend over and tackle something, and then you go tackle her room or her living room. Okay. Could you watch a YouTube video? Could you pull up your favorite tunes and just go at it for 20 minutes? Okay. Be curious about you and your home instead of being judgmental. And I've said this before in trainings and other master classes. Being judgmental is not a place that's fun, and it's not a place that's going to help us progress ever. We can be curious. We can go, that's interesting that I thought that. It's very interesting that I have these habits. But the second we judge, we're going to stop ourselves from making any progress. Okay. Ask a question about your thought or your story and then answer it. Okay. If we have a thought, we might be thinking like all those thoughts, those examples that I gave, right? No one helps clean up. Okay. And that could be the same as your story. That's just a story that you're telling. It is not the exact truth that you could prove in a court of law that no one else helps clean up. Okay. Someone somewhere probably puts their dirty clothes in the hamper. Someone somewhere in the house probably hangs up a coat or puts dishes in the dishwasher. Okay. Lots of things could be said in that regard. Okay. Don't just allow your brain to offer you that story, because it's only keeping you stuck in that place that I'm guessing you don't want to be in. Okay. So here's a few examples that I came up with. We're going to kind of play with it and I'll show you how it works. Okay. So I took the thought or the story that you might be telling yourself is, I don't know what to start with. This could feel very true for you, that like, I don't know what to start with. Where do I start in this room? Okay. Could you figure it out? Or how could you figure it out? Could you look up a YouTube video? Could you do a search on Instagram and see if maybe someone has a quick training video? Okay. What space are you in every single day? Okay. So like a family room or the kitchen or the entry. Okay. Or what is a category of items that you use daily? Shoes are good, jackets, bags of all kinds. You could easily start in the entryway, okay? Make leaving and coming home so much easier on you and everybody else. And then make that into a functional system, okay? That is a perfect place to start. It's almost always where I have my clients start, okay? All right, another thought is this will take forever. It really won't. Sometimes it feels that way, but once you get started, you'll pick up steam and you'll get much better at making decisions on what to keep, what to get rid of, how to get rid of them, and where to put things, okay? And sometimes you decide to keep all these items and then you're trying to figure out places for them and you get so frustrated that you can't find places for them that you realize I need to declutter more. I cannot continually keep all of these items, okay? And it definitely won't get done by not doing it, right? Even if it feels like this is going to take a really long time. It might take a long time, but it won't take forever. And it certainly won't get done by not doing it, okay? And again, did your home get this way overnight? Probably not. If I'm in a 50-minute coaching session, my kids can make a pretty big mess in the toy room. But at least that's contained, right? It's not the whole house. I don't give them the run of the whole house if I'm in here doing a quick coaching session or a 50-minute coaching session, okay? Depending on how much time it is. You might need to think about establishing some boundaries, okay? Kiddos, especially younger kiddos, they do not need access to every single room in the house. So set some rules of where they can and cannot go. And then maybe at certain times of the day too, where they have guided play in the playroom or alone time in the playroom, or they're, only in the family room and all the upstairs doors are closed. So they can't get in there, okay? It may take some time, but that could be okay. You could allow it to be okay that it takes a little bit of time to get your home the way that you'd like it to be, okay? We cannot expect a quick result from something that took time to get the way it is, right? Okay. And then the third thought or story you could be telling is, I'm just not good at this. Okay. A lot of us can say that on things that we don't particularly like to do, or that we feel like we're not very good at this. We just go to that place of like, well, I'm just not good at this. And then we use that as fuel for not doing that task that equals what we actually really want. Okay. If you're not good at it, let's say you're not good at dishes, you're not good at keeping up on laundry, is that really a problem? And do you want that to keep you from getting your home looking the way that you'd like? Or would you like to kind of deal with, I'm not really good at this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to try these new systems for a little while and see if they could improve the way my home looks or the way I'm able to move through my systems and routines. Okay. Could it be okay that you're not great at it? Could it be something that you work at to get better at? I think the answer is yes. All right. Another idea that makes it hard to tidy is that we're constantly accumulating more items, right? We're always bringing in things like easy idea is groceries. You buy things on Amazon. Maybe you go on a trip and you buy souvenirs. Kids bring things home from school, whether it's paperwork or craft projects, or somebody sent home a party bag, whether it's Valentine's, a whole pile of Valentines and different parties that they have. There's birthdays where they accumulate their own birthday gifts, or they go to a party and they bring home the treat bag. There's Christmas that brings stuff in, trips to the dollar store for one thing, and you come home with 12 other items. Guilty. We need to be more selective in the first place of what comes into our home, right? Where are the places that we can be a little more ruthless and decide, you know what? I'm not going to bring that into my home, because then once it's there, you have to make a decision over where to put it. Do I really need this item after you've already paid money for it? And well, I paid money for it, so I'm going to keep it, but then you have to look at it, right? And that all of those can be frustrating. Okay. The second idea is to declutter and make a plan for what you no longer want or need, for what things that you need to leave your home, right? So maybe you've already had those things for a while and you decide, I'm going to declutter all these items. Good. Now we have to make a plan for these things to leave, right? And then kind of follow through. Okay. The last thing is to make a plan for the things that are still coming in. So paperwork, mail, schoolwork, things that just they naturally will. Okay. I'm not coming from a place of minimalism. I don't like that because I do like some of my things. A lot of things bring me joy. It doesn't bring me joy to live a minimalist life and get rid of everything. That's not me. So that's not what I'm suggesting at all. But to decide where things will live, what items do get to stay, and figure out a home so that you don't have to deal with all the things out all of the time. Okay. All right. If you've decided that the things are staying, whatever items that you've decided, create a place for them and try to think of all the possibilities of how items can leave your home if they are, whether it's donations or trash, recycling, giving them away, doing a garage sale. And not that you have to overthink this, but I know a lot of people are reluctant to donate because they don't want things going straight to the dump. Okay, look in your area of what options are. I know there's places that do scrap metal. There's places that do very specific recycling items. There's places that do, I forget what the word is called, but when textile, when clothes are no longer wearable, like they have holes in them, they'll take those and they recycle them in a great way. So it's not just going in the trash. So if that's really important to you, and I absolutely respect that, then find out what areas are best in your, whatever area you live in, what places you have at your disposal to be able to get rid of items so that you can feel a little bit better about that if that is what's stopping you. Okay. All right. And then spoiler alert, I actually have a friend that is a professional organizer, and she is big on decluttering, and she's big on kind of giving you that truth that at some point, most of your things are going to be junk. I know a lot of them we hold on to because they're special to us. We hold on to other things because we're going to pass them on. Do your siblings or do your children, posterity, do they really want those items? Sometimes they don't, and they just kind of sit there. At some point, most of your things will be junk. Okay. All right. We're going to move on to my list of simple, tidy tips. Okay. Number one, start in one place and stay in that place. Don't try to move around because you're not going to see a really quick gain in how you're progressing. Okay. Try to begin with like items. So like I've mentioned in the entryway, you're not going to sit there and pick up one shoe and then one jacket and then two bags, but stick with one item or one category, one type of item. Okay, you'll see progress a lot faster. You can also look for the biggest items. So like pick up all the coats and hang all those up, or pick up all the bags, because that's going to make a big impact right off the bat. And then you can collect the shoes after that. Okay, continue to look for like items wherever you're at. And again, this will make the biggest impact and the biggest dent in the task and in the area that you're at. Okay, you can grab a small trash can and collect all the trash in that room or that area. Take any dishes to the sink, the kitchen sink. Push in and straighten any chairs, whether it's at desks or at the kitchen table, wherever you have some chairs, push them in and straighten them. Makes a huge difference of how the table looks in the kitchen, I promise you. Look for and collect items that don't belong in that space. Sometimes that can make a big impact, right? Go around with a basket that you use for this specific task, collect items that don't go in that area and take them out. Now, the best is to create a system of how to put those items away so that they're not just staying in the basket and sitting in another room that you haven't tidied up or decluttered, okay? You can straighten couch cushions and decorative pillows. You can collect paperwork into one pile. If you have a lot of paperwork, you might want to collect those in a working basket or into like a big file box so that you can start to tackle those. But putting them in one pile makes it a lot less daunting to see everywhere you walk, okay? You can clear clutter off of surfaces, like non-stationary items, right? If you're in the kitchen, obviously you'll want to kind of leave the things that belong out, but clear off the things that don't normally stay there. If you're in bedrooms, you can close the drawers and be sure nothing is sticking out. Put dirty clothes in the hamper. You can follow all the above steps, like the trash in trash cans and taking the dishes out to the kitchen sink, and collect shoes and collect coats that don't belong in that specific room, okay? You can quickly clear surfaces like dressers or nightstands, or if you have a bookshelf or a desk in your bedroom or whatever room it is, okay? And other items out of place that don't belong in that space at all. You could also, in the bedrooms, make the bed. And this can really set the tone for the entire room. If the bed is made, it kind of makes you want to start working around the room and making it look better to match the made bed. In the bathrooms, you could clear the counters, straighten the hanging towels. You can clean up the floor. My rule is if it's on the bathroom floor, it is now dirty. You could refill the toilet paper. You can give like the mirror and the sink and the counters, you can give those a quick wipe. If you're in the laundry room, that's where if you followed me in my stories this week, that's where we did the challenge. You could sort all the laundry and start a load. You could set a timer so you're ready to switch it into the dryer. Then you can go quickly through any products and other items that you have in there and make sure that what's in there stays. Like, I do want all these items, or you know what, I don't need this, this is old, I don't need this. And again, go through your process that you go through to get rid of those products in the way that you want and that is safe, okay? I believe very strongly that if the laundry room is messy or dirty or both, that it makes you not want to go in there and do laundry. Okay, so that's why I chose it as one of the challenges, to be able to help us get it to the place where we want it to be nice and we want to go in there and we don't mind doing laundry quite so much. Okay, if you're in the kitchen, you can quickly clear the table, you can do the dishes, and then clear the counters. Those three quick things can make it really, really tidy. And then just as a whole around the house, you can empty the trash and recycling all throughout the house. Now, I'm not saying you have to do all these items before your home is going to be tidy, but these are just some ideas to get you started in any given room in your house. Okay, excuse me, I'll take a sip of water. All right, we're going to move on to my 10 tips for getting things done. Number 1 is finish what you start. Do not start another task until the first one is done. Now, of course, there are emergencies. Of course, sometimes our kids really need something, but that has to be if they really need something. Okay, we're going to talk about how to kind of plan for that. But finish what you start. This will help you feel accomplished. This will help you stay more focused. And then you'll believe yourself when you say, I'm going to clear these counters, and you actually do it and finish it. I did that. Okay. Number 2, plan ahead for what you might need. Do you need a donation box? Do you need to empty the garbage can or empty the recycling? Do you need to have both of those handy or close by while you're doing your project, depending on where the task is? Are you sorting laundry? Do you need laundry baskets for your clean laundry and put a show on? Sometimes I'll let a few loads come through and get washed, and then I set out my laundry baskets and then I sort the laundry into those baskets so that I know whose clothes are whose. And then I fold each individual basket, because then I can just focus on one task at a time. Number 3, gear up and get out of your own way. Don't overthink how much effort or brain power that it might take. Don't spend more effort on trying to decide if you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Okay. Number 4, plan to do the task when you have the right amount of time. Don't start something that you don't have time to finish, because that is just frustrating and it feels defeating. Okay. Number 5, set a timer to help you stay on task. It is proven that if you set a timer, it helps you stay a little bit more focused. And even if you get distracted when it goes off, it reminds you, oh, whoops, I was doing this task, better get back on task. Okay. Number 6, set boundaries. Okay, whatever you have, whoever you have going on in your home, you need to decide what those boundaries can be so you can actually get some things done. Do you have kids? Do you have small kids? What are they allowed to do during your task that you're trying to accomplish? Now, this doesn't mean like I have to just stick them in front of screens for all day while I'm trying to get all these tasks done. No, you're certainly able to be creative and talk with them as you're doing things. But if you're trying to get a very specific task done, that it's easier if you're not interrupted, or it'll go better if you're not interrupted, have a talk with them and say, you know what, mommy's going to do the dishes. And then when she's all done, then we can play a game. Okay. So yes, make a plan for kids. Are they fed? Are they changed? They have something to keep them occupied. And of course, make sure they're safe. Okay. With kids, I know with littles, they don't really understand, but when they get a little bit older, again, you can tell them what your plan is so that there are less interruptions. And this can take practice, and it's not always a perfect thing. It happens. But it can be a lot better if you kind of make a plan and you set what your intentions and what your, I forgot the word, boundaries are, so that they know that like mom's doing this, she said she's doing that, and I can't interrupt her with something that is not really an emergency or really important. Okay. Number 7, decide if this task is what you should put your focus into. I really, really want to start this load of laundry. However, I know Brighton has a shirt that he's going to need next week, and I want to make sure it's getting clean and getting dried and hung up, or back in his drawer so that he has it for his leadership day. So it would be better if I collected and sorted the laundry and then I put in a load. Okay. Will this task allow you to do other tasks? Okay. Like if I load the dishwasher, then now I can run it, right? So is it a task that leads you to be able to do another one? Okay. A task you've decided on may be great and may need to be done, but you have to decide, should another task come first? Now, again, I don't want you to overthink this, but there are a few things that if we follow that quick rule, wait, is there one I should do first that could help me kind of gain momentum in the day? Then that's what we should focus on. Okay. Number 8, are you the right person for the job? Or is it a kid's mess? Should they be cleaning it up? Or should the entire family be helping out? Or can that be addressed later and you just want the task completed right now? Okay. Maybe it's a task that would be better suited for the hubby to help you out. Don't try to lift something or move something on your own that you shouldn't, or whatever the task is. Is this something I really should get help on? If you're decluttering his things, don't stop. Go worry about your own things and set a date night to help him with his things. Okay. Number 9, are you in the right place for the task? You want to be able to stay in that one place wherever the task is so that you can get it done, and then you conserve energy and you're not running the risk of getting distracted or going to other places. Okay. Sorting papers on the floor with a toddler around, not a great idea. But if you've cleared off the counters and you've wiped them off and you're sorting them on the island, much better idea. All right. And number 10 is start. That's it. Start. Stop talking yourself out of it and start. Just think about the very first step that you're going to take and do it. Don't overthink what the first step should be. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. Just start. Get yourself going because it will create momentum. Okay. Get out of bed. Maybe that's the first one. You know what? I can't think about my whole day, but right now I'm just going to get myself out of bed. Okay. And then you finally get yourself out of bed and you rub your eyes a little bit. Okay. What's the next step? I'm going to put the workout clothes on. Perfect. Got it. Okay. What's the next step? Grab your water bottle, right? You're kind of just moving one thing at a time and getting yourself to the gym or getting yourself to the Peloton or to the workout system, whatever you have. I don't have a Peloton. That's on my wish list. Okay. Don't talk yourself out of it and don't try to talk yourself into it. That's just a whole lot of like mess. Like just, nope, I'm just doing it. Okay. Your brain is always going to try to do that because it wants you to be comfortable. It doesn't want you to be in pain or be bored or be uncomfortable. It wants you to be comfortable. Okay. So talk yourself into it by just taking the first step. That is how. Okay. I know a lot of what I teach is different than what you might do in your household. Okay. A lot of things that I say, maybe some people are like, I would never do that. That is so dumb, or that will never work for me. Okay. But I would challenge you to give new ways a try. Okay. Maybe not everything at once, but maybe implement 2 or 3 new habits, ideas, or systems in your home. Okay. Give them a really solid 90 days of good effort and see if you notice a difference. Don't expect results to just come instantly and be better in every single area. Okay. And certainly don't expect results for work you're not doing and effort that you're not giving. Okay. That's a place you might have to be honest with yourself in. And that might be the case in other aspects of your life, maybe your self-care or your health goals or your fitness goals, financial goals, right? If you're not putting in the effort and you're not actually doing the work, then you can't expect the results to be coming from that, right? If I stay up till 2 in the morning, I can't have my alarm go off at 7 a.m. and feel like, yes, I'm ready to go. No, I'm going to be tired. I need to take the time to take care of myself and either plan a sleep-in day if I'm able to on a Saturday, or you know what, I've got to shut it off and I've got to go to bed by 10:30 so that I'm able to get myself up when my kids are up in the morning. Okay. I recently attended a 5-day virtual summit and I enjoyed almost every single speaker. They were phenomenal. They had some really great ideas and I took a ton of notes on them. I wanted to end my thoughts with this one, and it's by a mindset coach, and her name is Stephanie Traska. She is on Instagram if you wanted to follow her. She said, start changing your current behavior to match the future you want. Right? That's the mic drop. When she said that, I was like, ah, had to go rewatch it, rewind it, watch the replay, like good thoughts. Now, this doesn't mean that we have to be like on all the time. Like you just have to always do it, always be pushing. We're not robots, we're humans, okay? But pay attention to how often you're able to complete your tasks. And in those moments when you're not, or you're feeling like you can't, okay? We need to have real reasons why we're actually not, okay? But talking yourself out of your task list because it's boring or because you just don't want to is probably not a good one, and probably not the reason that you don't want to complete things, right? Start changing your current behavior to match the future you want.